Hello, soulmates. Welcome to our channel. Today, we'll be learning how to make this pinafore dress. This is the one I made. So, and it came out very perfect. Let's get right into the video. This is the materials that we'll be needing for to make this dress. So, we first of all measure her shoulder to waist. Her shoulder to waist is 14 inches minus 1 inch for the band that will be facing on the pinafore dress. So, we'll measure 13 inches. So, 13 inches for now is our shoulder to waist measurement that I took. So, shoulder to waist measurements will measure 13 inches. Then, we use our ruler to connect the lines together. Then, after connecting the lines together, we'll measure her shoulder measurement. Her shoulder measurement is 14 inches divided by 2 will give us 7 inches minus 1 inch because of the pinafore. So we'll now use 6 inches for her shoulder to shoulder measurement, 6 inches. So we'll measure 6 inches. So there we'll now measure the neck width. Her neck width is 3 inches. We'll mark 3 inches. Then after that, we'll now came down by 1 inch for her shoulder slope. After measuring 1 inch, we now connect the lines together to her neck width. Good. So when we are done connecting the lines together, we'll measure her neck depth of 4 inches. Neck depth of 4 inches for the front. For the front part, we'll measure neck depth of 4 inches. So when we are done measuring that, we'll connect the lines together. And remember that her neck width is 3 inches, while her neck depth is 4 inches. So we'll now connect the lines together and use our curve to curve the neckline. Then after doing that, for her waistline, her waist is 28 inches. We divided it by 6 inches because of the pinafore, and we got 3.5 inches. We measure 3.5 inches and then connect it to that her shoulder measurement that we took. So for the back of her neck depth, we'll measure 1.5 inches. For the back of her neck depth, 1.5 inches. So we'll measure 1.5 inches and then we'll connect the lines together. Please try and like and subscribe to our channel so as to help us to make more videos. So as you can see, when we are done cutting, it's very easy and simple. It's beginners friendly. So when we are done measuring, then we'll cut out the pattern. So we are cutting out the pattern for the back first. Remember, we drafted both the back and the front pattern together. So first of all, cut out the back neckline because we'll be cutting that one out first. So when we are done cutting it, we'll now use our fabric and place the pattern on our fabric. So first of all, cut out the pattern for the back. Remember, there is no zip allowance. So you place your fabric this way on fold and then cut out the back pattern first. So after cutting out the back pattern, we'll now cut out the front pattern too. So here is the back pattern that we have cut out. So we now use our pin to secure the pattern again and cut the front pattern. So when we are done using our needle to secure it, we'll now cut out the front pattern. After cutting it out, we now brought out our lining and also cut our lining for both the front and the back. We'll cut it out. Please guys, try and subscribe, like and share. So when we are done, we now use our hair stay or paper stay, whichever one you have, and then gum on the fabric to make it more stronger. So after doing that, we'll now place the lining together with the main fabric and sew on the neckline. So we'll be doing this for both the front and the back, and then by the side. Look at where I'm pointing. So we'll do this for both the front and the back. First of all, sew the neckline and then the two sides. So we are done sewing both the neckline and the two sides of the bodice. We'll now turn the pinafore out. We'll now turn the fabric. After turning the fabric, both of them, so after turning the fabric, we'll now place it together like so and keep it aside. So for the down part, for the gathers, we'll be using 1.5 yards. So this 1.5, I'll be splitting it into two. Remember the akara is by 45, some 46 inches. So when I split it into two, it will give me 23 inches. So meaning that 1.5 inches for 1.5 yards for the front and 1.5 yards for the back. So that's what we use for the gathers. For the gathers for the down part, I use 1.5 yards by 23 inches length, and then 1.5 yards 23 inches length for the front and back. So when we are done doing that, we'll now run a loose stitch. Take it to our machine and run a loose stitch on them. After doing that, we'll now gather it together. Here is the cape. So here is our waistband that we'll be adding to it. So we measured our waistband using our waist circumference, the main waist circumference plus zip allowance, and then after that we'll notch the center of our pinafore. After notching the center, we'll also notch the center of our band, our waistband. Then we sew like so. We sew them together like so. So after sewing them, remember to use the other parts too. You place it together like so. Just watch what I'm doing, you will get it. So I'm done sewing both the front and the back for the waistband. So now, and I've gone ahead to do the finishing, and then I've gone ahead to iron them properly for a better finishing. So please guys, please try and subscribe to my channel, like and share to others. So now it's time for us to gather the down part. So remember I used for the front part 1.5 inches. The length of the down part is 23 inches. For the back, the same thing. So we'll now sew. After gathering them, we'll now use our waist, the band, and sew it like so. See what I'm doing? You will get it. It's very easy and simple. Now you now sew it to the waistband. So I'm done sewing them. I'm done sewing the waistband to the skirt part. So now here is the lining. So the other part of the band, the inner part, I use the lining and sew on the other part of the band. So I'm done sewing both the inside and the outside. Here is the look. You see, it's giving a very good and nice finishing. So I will do this. I will repeat the same process in the for the back pattern. This one is the front. For the back side, I will repeat the same process. So now, after doing that, we'll now place both the back and the front together. Place both the back and the front together, shoulder to shoulder. Then we'll stitch on the shoulder. We'll stitch on the other end of the shoulder. So we're almost done with this dress. So after stitching on the shoulder, so here is the look of the outcome after stitching on the shoulder. So now it's time for us to join the both sides together. Remember our zip to make a zip allowance. So to sew this, you place your tape at the center and mark it and shape it properly. Look at what I'm doing, you will get it. So remember to make a space for your zip. So we'll stitch and then we'll make a space for where our zip will be placing our zip. So I now use my ruler to measure my zip, where my zip will be starting and where it will stop. So I use my chalk to mark it out. So I've gone ahead to sew the zip. After sewing the zip, I've gone ahead to stitch the down part, and then there is the allowance that I left for the zip. So now it's time for me to sew the zip. So now I took it to my machine and then stitch on it. So I'm done sewing the zip. So here is the outcome. So we are done with this pinafore dress. It is very easy and simple to make. It is beginners friendly. I hope you learned something today. Please like and share to your friends, and please subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Thank you so much for sticking with us today. Thank you for watching. Bye.